Chancellor, graduates, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honour and a privilege to respond on behalf of all of today's amazing graduates. UWS has given them a solid educational launchpad on which to ignite their future. And as they shoot for the stars, they will reflect on the gratitude and thanks they owe the entire UWS family for their education. They will also have their own families in mind. As a parent of three, two of whom are at university, I've already seen firsthand just what it takes to achieve what you have done here today. Years of tireless hard work, late nights, blood, sweat and tears. That's just your parents. Parents, carers, family and friends, thank you for your unconditional support. I think you'll also agree the graduates have worked pretty hard too. I'm absolutely humbled to receive my honour today. This really does mean so much. As you know by now, I am a space geek. And when I received a letter from Professor Mahoney, I initially misread it. I thought I was to be given the title of Doctor of the Universe, a title I might struggle to live up to. However, Doctor of the University, and a university is pioneering, progressive and ambitious, as UWS is much more of an accolade and an honour, and it certainly sounds a lot less sinister. Sitting watching all of the graduands come up to receive their awards, I realised I was literally watching the future flashing in front of my eyes. You are all the future. You will shape our world. You will lead the debates, make the discoveries, develop the solutions, innovate, create, teach, produce, and leave your mark on the world for future generations to come. And what an absolutely amazing prospect that is. I'd like to touch on three things today. Firstly, if I may, I'd like to talk about a subject that is conveniently avoided. It's a paralysing mindset that if you don't learn how to control, it can severely limit your ability to capitalise on your last 3, 4 or more years here and to fully reach your potential. It is the fear of failure. I know that many of you will become wonderful employees, but I encourage some of you to take the entrepreneurial path in life, becoming wonderful employers, setting up your own business or your own practice. Having set up a number of businesses and in the work that I do at Elevator, I know that the number one reason given by people for not setting up their own business is the fear of failure. Whatever path you choose in life, never let the fear of failing stop you. Think of the word fail as an acronym, F-A-I-L, your first attempt in learning. Because what people don't see is the priceless learning that you will gain from so-called failing. Failure isn't permanent, but stopping is. Therefore, your attitude in dealing with failure, picking yourself up and learning from it is absolutely vital. Rather than allowing failure to dictate who you are, use the learnings from failure to develop the person that you will become. I encourage you, be driven by the passion to succeed, but celebrate your defeats and failures and use them as allies on the road ahead. My second point today is to address your ambitions. This year, and in fact this month, marks the 50th anniversary when, in 1969, humankind took that first giant leap, and Neil Armstrong, joined by Buzz Aldrin, supported by Michael Collins, set foot on the moon 240,000 miles from home. It was President Kennedy's moonshot thinking in 1961, only 8 years earlier, that laid down that challenge. We choose to go to the moon, he said, not because it is easy, but because it is hard. Neither the technology nor the capability had fully been invented, but the team at NASA got behind a common goal to achieve the unachievable. When the lunar module touched down on the moon's surface, the average age of staff at Mission Control was 26. That means in 1961, when Kennedy issued his challenge, those people were just 18. In 8 short years, they went from high school graduates to landing humans on the moon. Just think what you can achieve over the next 8 years in your life. Because today, progress and innovation has never moved so quickly. But today also represents the slowest that progress and innovation will ever move. It's only going to accelerate. It took cars 62 years to reach 50 million users worldwide. The telephone took 50 years to reach 50 million users. Mobile phones took 12 years. Facebook took only 3 years to reach 50 million users. It took the game, Pokemon Go, only 19 days to reach 50 million users. Businesses that you start today can instantaneously reach a global marketplace. Just think of the opportunities that can bring for you all. You're not shooting for the moon any longer. You're shooting for the fastest moving comet in the galaxy. But you have your launch pad. You have the fuel. You have the know-how. And you got all of that right here from UWS. The mantra at the heart of UWS is dreaming, believing, achieving. This is moonshot thinking at its core. If you make it your mantra, I am really confident that, like the team at NASA, you will be able to achieve the unachievable too. This brings me on to my final point. Over the last 3 or 4 years, in fact, over the last 20 or so years, you have all been in receive mode. You've absorbed all of the knowledge, all of the education, all of the experience that you possibly can. Today marks a change. Today it's time to flick that switch from receive mode to transmit mode. In other words, it's time to start giving back. Apple famously encouraged us to think different. Today I want to go one step further. I don't want you to just think different. I want you to be the difference. If it's between success and failure, equality or inequality, progress or regress, inclusion or exclusion, whatever it is, I ask you, be that person, be that force, be the difference for a positive outcome. Always ask yourself, what skill can I offer? What action can I take? What time can I give? Whether you give back to your family, your university, your community, or like me, trying to give back to my hometown of Paisley. So, you now know how to conquer your fear of failure. Your moonshot thinking will have you shooting for the stars. But please, please give of yourself when and as often as you can. And I can assure you that giving back is far more rewarding than a life of accumulation. And I don't believe that I can truly earn my Honorary Doctorate without serving you and UWS. You have my service and my commitment on that. I'd like to close now by reiterating my sincere thanks to UWS I'd like to thank my amazing wife, Claire, my wonderful family, without whose support I would not be able to do what I do today. Thank you. I was doing okay up until that last point there. Lastly, but most importantly, I'd like to congratulate every single one of the graduates here today. I wish you all the very best of fortune as you boldly go forward in the promising future that lies ahead. Thank you and good luck. Thank you.